Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As we start the proceedings for the evening, may I request all those who are standing to kindly take the seats. Gathered over here on the occasion of the CME, which is being organized by Modern Diagnostics and Research Center. The flavor of the evening is going to be cardiac imaging. There are going to be 3 talks on various kinds of cardiac imaging that are now possible. I've met most of you on numerous previous occasions on various platforms for the CMEs which were being organized by big hospitals, which came to Gurgaon about 5 years back and started changing the healthcare scenario for good. Today gives me an extra pleasure to be here presenting to you one of the oldest players in the healthcare scenario of Gurgaon. Modern Diagnostics and Research Center started its operations in the year 1985, when the Gurgaon, what we see today, was nowhere to be seen. Nobody could have believed what we see today, Gurgaon emerging as the Mecca for healthcare. It was the vision of Dr. Yadav, who started with a plain X-ray unit, a small laboratory, and went on to add multiple modalities over the year. He was the first person to bring in a color Doppler, a CT scan to the town, even when the things were not financially viable. When the first CT scan came to the town in the year 1995, I don't think there were more than 2 super specialists who could utilize the services, and it was not a very, very good financial decision. But that has never stopped him from going ahead with the latest of the technology, and in the year 2003 installed the first MRI of the town. The innovations in the technology went on, and he went on adding things. Last year he changed the first MRI into a 1.5 Tesla machine. In between, in the year 2003, he changed the CT and installed a dual slice CT. Today we gathered here because it's a quantum jump in terms of technology. From a dual slice CT has gone 64 times higher to install the first dual source 128 slice CT to be installed at any private diagnostic center in the entire NCR region. Some of my friends have been complimenting me that, Kuldeep, whatever you touch in the last 5 years or 6 years has turned into gold. Let me tell you, friends, this is already pure 22-karat gold when we talk in terms of technology or when we talk about medical diagnostics. It gives me so much pleasure that all the established players of Gurgaon, instead of being wiped out by the changes taking place in the healthcare scenario, have decided to stand up and not only join that thing, but to continue their leadership position. This is a real big statement by Modern Diagnostics. In the last 25 years, you might have seen various forms of the center, but this is the new center. It's got all what you would find at any top-of-the-line facility, whether it's being promoted by any corporate group. Excellent patient services. I've already talked about the best-of-the-line technology. Great patient comfort. Absolute concentration on the quality. Without taking much of the time, I would start the scientific proceedings for the evening. As we start, I would request Dr. Dipali, who is training to be a radiologist and happens to be the daughter of Dr. D.S. Yadav, to kindly come onto the stage and assist me in welcoming the chairpersons and the speakers for the evening. I would request Dr. Reema Anand to kindly come onto the stage and welcome our first chairperson for the evening. Dr. Anand is a consultant radiologist at NDRC. I have a great pleasure in introducing a very, very distinguished chairperson for the evening. He did his medical schooling from UCMS New Delhi 36 years back and went on to do his post-graduation in radiology from AFMC Pune in 1984. During his illustrious career with the Indian Army, he headed the Department of Radiology at all the 5 tertiary care hospitals of the Army, including R&R. He pioneered interventional radiology in the Army Medical Corps, a recipient of the prestigious Sena Medal for exceptionally distinguished service. He now heads the Department of Interventional Radiology and Academic Affairs at B.L. Kapoor Hospital, New Delhi. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our chairperson for today's CME, Dr. Brigadier Chandar Mohan, Sena Medal. So I request you to kindly take the seat on the dais. I would now request Dr. B. Kalra to come onto the stage and welcome our next chairperson. Dr. Kalra was one of the first cardiologists to make Gurgaon as his base and has been associated with NDRC for more than a decade as a consultant cardiologist. Dr. Kalra is currently the National General Secretary of the Indian Academy of Echocardiography for the 3rd year in running. Very few words to describe Dr. Kalra. He's been a close friend of mine and a very, very distinguished cardiologist. Now I have the pleasure to introduce our second chairperson for the day. He did his medical school and post-graduation in internal medicine from KGMC Lucknow. His cardiac training took place at UK, Italy and United States of America. He not only pioneered contrast echocardiography in the country, but is also an authority in the field. He has been a founder and later the president of Indian Academy of Echocardiography. He has received numerous awards nationally and internationally, which includes Lifetime Achievement Award by Indian Academy of Echocardiography and Indian Medical Association in the year 2005. Lifetime Achievement Award by World Federation of Clinical and Preventive Cardiology, which was bestowed by His Excellency, the former President of India in the year 2007. He became a fellow of the American College of Cardiology and reached the pinnacle by being elected as the President of the Cardiology Society of India in the year 2007. Currently, he heads the Department of Non-Invasive Cardiology at Metro Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, please join hands to welcome our other chairperson, Dr. S.K. Parashar. So kindly take the seat on the dais. I would now request Dr. Reema Anand, who is a consultant radiologist at NDRC, to kindly come on the stage and welcome our first speaker for the evening. He is one of the most renowned names in the field of radiology, specializing in cardiac imaging. May I now request Dr. Nitin Yadav to kindly come onto the stage to welcome our first speaker for the evening. The introduction of the speakers would be given by the chairperson, so I am just calling out the names. He's one of the most renowned names in the field of radiology, specializing in cardiac imaging. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Anirudh Kohli. I would now request Dr. Ved Prakash to kindly come onto the stage to welcome our second speaker for the evening. Dr. Ved Prakash is also a consultant cardiologist at Modern Diagnostics and Research Center and at Artemis Health Institute. He's a consultant at the prestigious Hero DMC, Ludhiana, and has done significant work in the field of non-invasive cardiology, especially contrast echocardiography. And for your information, he also happens to be the first cousin of one of our own doctors who practices radiology at Columbia Asia, Dr. Sachin Tandon. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Rohit Tandon. I would now request Dr. Neeru Kapoor. Is she there? Dr. Neeru Kapoor is also a consultant radiologist at Modern Diagnostics and Research Center, and she'll be welcoming our third speaker for the evening. Let me say a few words about him. He's a pioneer in the field of diagnostics in the city of Gurgaon, technically soft-spoken, but has a strong vision of quality diagnostics. No prizes for guessing, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Dr. D.S. Yadav. I would now request Chairperson for the evening, Dr. Brigadier Chandra Mohan, to commence the proceedings of the scientific session by introducing